Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Let's Look at AD&D 2nd Edition Player's Handbook. Today we're going to move on with magic. Schools and let's just... hold on, what did we leave off on? We left off on equipment. Okay. So for spells, some of the most powerful weapons player characters can have at their disposal in the AD&D game are magical spells. Through spells, a player can control earthquakes, call lightning out of the sky, heal grievous injuries, hurl explosive balls of fire, create barriers of stone, fire and ice, and learn secrets long forgotten. Okay, and then we have Schools of Magic, which we have Abjuration, Alteration, Conjuration / Summoning, Enchantment / Charm, Greater Divinations, Illusions, Invocations and Evocations, Lesser Divination, and Necromancy, which is, I think that's all the ones they have in the new books. I'd have to reread, but I think it's all the same. Learning spells, more fabulous art, magic illusions. Illusions. Of all spells, those of the illusion school cause the most problems. Not that they are more difficult for your player characters to cast, but these spells are more difficult for you to roleplay and for your DM to adjudicate. Illusions rely on the idea of believability, which in turn relies on the situation and the state of mind of the victim. Your DM must determine this for NPCs, which is perhaps an easier job. What? Yes. Which perhaps is an easier job. What? Your DM must determine this for NPCs, which is perhaps an easier job. You must roleplay... Oh, I see what they're saying. You must roleplay this for your character. It's harder to roleplay it than it is for the DM to say the NPC believes it. But look at this art. It's fantastic. Priest spells. Wait, did I skip something? Why does it just suddenly say illusions and then skip right? Okay. Priest spells. Well, hold on. Yeah, it's all illusion. Weird. Priest spells. The spells of a priest, while sometimes having powers similar to those of the wizard, are quite different in their overall tone. The priest's role, more other than not, is as defender and guide for others. Thus, the majority of this spell's work to aid others or provide some service to the community in which he lives. Few of his spells are truly offensive, but many can be used cleverly to protect or to defend. Okay. Casting spells. Both wizards and priests use the same rules for casting spells. To cast a spell, the character must have the spell memorized. If it is not memorized, the spell cannot be cast. The caster must be able to speak, not under the effects of a silence or gagged, and have both arms free. Note that the optional spell component rule, following section, can modify these conditions. If the spell is targeted on a person, place, or thing, the caster must be able to see the target. It is not enough to cast a fireball 150 feet ahead into the darkness. The caster must be able to see the point of explosion and the intervening distance. Likewise, a magic missile, which always hits its target, cannot be fired into a group of bandits with the instruction to strike the leader. The caster must be able to identify and see the leader. Okay, makes sense. Magical research. Are we? Hold on. Wait, we're not going to talk about, it just says illusions. We're not going to talk about the schools of magic? I thought we would. I'll go back and read that. Yeah, you know what? I'll read that now. Abjuration. Abjuration spells are a group of specialized protective spells. Each is used to prevent or banish some magical or non-magical effect or creature. They are often used to provide safety in times of great danger or when attempting some other particularly dangerous spell. Alteration. Alteration spells cause a change in the properties of some already existing thing, creature, or condition. This is accomplished by magical energy channeled through the wizard. Conjuration / summoning, my personal favorite. Conjuration spells bring something to the caster from elsewhere. Conjuration normally produces matter or items from some other place. Summoning enables the caster to compel living creatures and powers to appear in his presence or to channel extraplanar energies through himself. Okay, I messed that up a little bit. Enchantment / charm. Spells cause a change in the quality of an item or the attitude of a person or creature. Enchantments can bestow magical properties on ordinary items, while charms can unduly influence the behavior of beings. Greater divinations are more powerful than lesser divinations, see below. These spells enable the wizard to learn secrets long forgotten, to predict the future, and to uncover things hidden or cloaked by spells. Illusions deal with spells to deceive the senses or minds of others. Spells that cause people to see things that are not there, hear noises not made, or remember things that never happened are all illusions. Invocation / evocation. Spells channel magical energy to create specific effects and materials. Invocation normally relies on the intervention of some higher agency to whom the spell is addressed, while evocation enables the caster to directly shape the energy. Lesser divination. What? Oh, sorry, I thought my phone went off. Lesser divination spells are learnable by all wizards, regardless of their affiliation. This school includes the most basic and vital spells of the wizard, those he needs to practice other aspects of his craft. Lesser divinations include read magic and detect magic. Necromancy. Necromancy is one of the most restrictive of all spell schools. It deals with dead things or the restoration of life, limbs, or vitality to living creatures. Although a small school, its spells tend to be powerful, given the risk of the adventuring world. Necromantic spells are considered quite useful. Okay, so I'm glad I went back and read that. I honestly thought that they were gonna have like it says illusions. I thought, oh, they're gonna have evocation, alteration. They did not. They didn't at all. So we already did that. Magical research, spell descriptions. We know how those work. Combat. After a player's... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is experience. Combat's next. We want experience. After a player's character has bravely set out and survived his first adventure, the player will have experienced the entertainment of role-playing games. But what will the character have gained? If the character never improves, he will never be able to survive, let alone overcome the powerful dangers that fill the AD&D game worlds. Fortunately, this isn't the case. Every time a character goes on an adventure, he learns something. He may learn a little more about his physical limits, encounter a creature he has never seen before, try a spell as yet unused, or discover a new peculiarity. I'm going to say this wrong. Something peculiar of nature. Indeed, not all this learned experience need be positive. After blowing up half of his party with a poorly placed fireball, a wizard may, though there is no guarantee, learn to pay more attention to ranges and areas of effects. Okay, and then it's basically it's giving some role play to experience. Like you gain experience and you level up, but you learn real life facts and the game facts. And now we move on to combat. As important as fighting is in the D&D game, it isn't the be-all and end-all play. It's just one way for characters to deal with situations. If characters could do nothing but fight, the game would quickly get boring. Every encounter would be the same, because there's more to the game than fighting. We'll cover much of that in the simple hack. Definitions, attack roll, we know that. Combat weapon type, here we go. Let's see, combat modifiers. Modifiers to the attack roll. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. THAC0, something I still do not understand at all. I mean, I get the basis of it. I probably could play with it, but I'm not an expert at it. But I'm calculating THAC0. To make an attack roll, the character's THAC0 must be known. This depends on the group and level. If the attacker is a player character or NPC, or the hit dice if the attacker is a monster or an animal. What? If the attacker is a player character or NPC, or the hit dice if the attacker is a monster or an animal, all first level characters have THAC0s of 20 regardless of class. Okay, I need to keep reading too. I stopped myself, sorry. For a character of level 1 through 20, consult table 53. Okay. This table lists the THAC0 numbers of each group through 20th level, so players don't have to perform any calculations. And then we have it. Priest, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. Oh boy. So if they have an AC of 1, you need... No, that can't be right. Alright. THAC0 advancement. Yeah, this is complicated. I know the basis of it. It's kind of like reverse. It's like, imagine a 1 is a 20. So in order to roll high enough to beat a 1 AC, because it's reversed. Instead of, say you take an AC of 20 in modern D&D, I think that means in the older editions, an AC of 20 is actually an AC of 1, because it works in reverse. I think. Don't quote me on this. I'm not an expert. More fabulous art. Combat sequence. Sorry, something just notified me on my computer. I apologize. Combat sequence, yep. Combat initiative. Standard initiative procedure. To determine the initiative order for a round of combat, roll a 1d10 for each side in the battle. Normally this means the DM rolls for monsters or NPCs, while one of the player rolls for the PC party. Low roll wins initiative. If more than 2 sides are involved in combat, the remaining side act in ascending order of initiative. If both or all sides roll the same number for initiative, everything happens simultaneously. All attack rolls, damage spells, and other actions are completed before any results are applied. It is possible for a mage to be slain by goblins who collapse from his sleep spell at the end of the round. Okay, so initiative, completely different. Here's optional, which I think optional. Where's optional? Where's it? Group initiative optional rule. Wait, isn't it already group initiative? I am so confused. Some people believe that using a single initiative roll for everyone on the same side is too unrealistic. It is adamantly a simplification, a way to keep down the number of die rolls required in a single round, allowing for much faster combat. However, the actions of different characters, the types of weapons they use, and the situation can all be factors in determining initiative. Using this optional method, one initiative die roll is still made for each side of the fight. However, more modifiers are applied to this roll. According to the actions of individual characters, these modifiers are listed on table 56. I'm reading it so fast that I'm messing up my words. I apologize. So this is back when they used... Nowadays, most people know, in 5th edition, 5.5, and so on, they use individual rolls. So if everybody rolls separate and you tally it up. The way I do it is I just take a piece of paper. You can't really see it. I take a piece of paper and do 1 through 20, and then just fill it out as I go. Oh, you got a 15? Okay, there's a 15 there. Oh, you got a 17 there, so on and so forth. Here we go. Maybe this is it. Individual initiative. This method of determining initiatives is the same as that just given earlier, except that each PC and NPC monster involved in the fight rolls and then modifies his own initiative roll. This gives combat a more realistic feel, but at the expense of quick play. Okay, so they do have it. It's just an optional rule. Combat 2 weapons. Okay. Combat attacking without killing, something that has come up in my campaign quite a bit. Combat touch spells, combat magic missile weapons, combat parrying, combat saving throws, combat magic resistance, combat turning undead, combat special damage, combat character death. Character death. When a character reaches 0 hit points, that character is slain. The character is immediately dead and unable to do anything unless some specialized magical effect takes procedure. So back then, death was death. There was no death saving throws. You died. You hit 0, you're dead. Poison, I believe. Poison, I don't know if it was in AD&D. Let's read. Poison. This is an all too frequent hazard faced by player characters. Bites, stings, deadly potions, drugged wines, and bad food all await characters at the hands of malevolent wizards, evil assassins, hideous monsters, and incompetent innkeepers. Spiders, snakes, centipedes, scorpions, wyverns, and certain giant frogs all have poisons deadly to characters. Wise PCs quickly learn to respect and fear such creatures. And I think it doesn't say if it kills. I know it used to just kill outright. Character death. Well, maybe I should read character death. I already read that. And then we're on to treasure, which I think I will save for the next episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm excited about this series. I think I'm doing an okay job at reading it. But if you liked what you saw, consider liking the video and subscribing. And thanks for watching.